Welcome, beloved souls, as we embark on a journey through the timeless light of the divine. Chosen one. A dishonest police officer has been quietly influencing events in the hopes of controlling your life like chess pieces. However, they fail to account for the fact that you have been becoming more resilient, more conscious, and more shielded by powers beyond their comprehension. They were unaware that they weren't interacting with random people. They were interacting with you, a selected individual, who was shielded by powers they couldn't even fathom. Sitting in the back, tugging strings, believing they were the puppet master, is this individual. Let's call them what they are. A corrupt police officer. They had been trying to steer you in directions you didn't want to go by seizing hold of the steering wheel. They continued to act as though they were protecting and helping others while, in reality, they were just serving themselves while donning that guise of morality. Now something is changing. Behind closed doors, that mask is beginning to disappear off the badge and the suit. They're drowning. The manipulative techniques that used to be so effective against you are now helpless. They seem to be yelling for assistance, but they are too arrogant and proud to actually ask for it. They're learning something horrifying. Someone who has learned to safeguard their own energy cannot be controlled. Someone who has access to their spiritual strength cannot be controlled. Furthermore, you can't threaten someone who has the universe's support. Things start to get extremely intriguing at this point. In order to sustain their appearance of power, this corrupt police officer believed they had allies, friends who would tell lies for them, co-workers who would cover for them, a complete network of dishonest people. However, corruption has a way of eating itself alive, and those same friends are currently secretly recording every illegal command, every chat, and every scheme. The corrupt police officer is unaware that they are assembling evidence against him. The honest police officers have been observing. Disgusted by what they've seen, they've been gathering evidence covertly and waited for the ideal opportunity to attack. Although it's taking place behind the scenes, that moment is now. A much larger inquiry has been developing while this corrupt police officer has been obsessed with you. Every accusation of harassment they believe to be untrue, every fabricated arrest they planned, and every misuse of authority they engaged in while attempting to exert control over your life are all being scrutinized. They believed they would be protected by their insignia. They believed they would be saved by their connections. They believed that everything would disappear because of their wealth and power. They were mistaken. Yellow heart if you feel the divine love. Now is the time to share. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute $50 or more and help us spread God's blessings. What you do is being watched and serves as a seed, and in the future it will come back to you a millionfold. You weren't their sole target, which is a startling turn of events that even you didn't anticipate. Other victims, those who believed they were alone in their misery but are now learning they were a part of a pattern, are coming out of the shadows as news of the probe spreads. One father who was threatened with fake allegations of child endangerment, a business owner who was frequently cited for non-existent infractions, and a teacher who endured months of harassment after declining approaches. Although each victim believed their experiences were unique, taken as a whole, they depict years of systematic torture. There is no denying the pattern. This corrupt police officer has been using their badge as a weapon against anyone who has the audacity to challenge their authority. They failed to anticipate that these victims would come together, exchange tales, and understand that strength lies in numbers. The preparation of a class action lawsuit is underway. The number of criminal charges is increasing. They could not have predicted the extent of their corruption when they initially chose to target you. A cascade of justice has resulted from your bravery in confronting them, because they witness what happens when someone refuses to be hushed. Other victims are finding their voices. They are coming forward with more than just anecdotes. They have documentation of harassment, recordings of threatening phone calls, and eyewitness accounts of the abuse. What began as a personal grudge against you is now exposing a vast network of corruption that affects numerous departments, cases, and lives that have been ruined by their misuse of authority. You became the driving force behind the rescue of innumerable people who were suffering in silence. in addition to saving yourself. You were unaware of the extent of the corruption. This individual was attempting to capture you personally in addition to trying to control you professionally and socially. They even planned a reproductive trap as part of their scheme to establish a lasting relationship with you. You read correctly. This psychopath genuinely thought that you would be permanently bonded to them if they could somehow coerce you into a situation involving a child. They believed that having a baby would make you forget all of the abuse, harassment, and psychological warfare they had subjected you to. The degree of desperation is on the verge of peaking. The degree of narcissism is out of control, and the degree of illusion is astounding. The lovely irony is that they have lost control of everything else while attempting to control you. They have lost all of the money they were using to purchase your loyalty, influence events, and impress you. They have nothing to show for the entire money they have spent on this addiction. They are impoverished and broke because they were unable to come to terms with the fact that you would never be theirs. They're going to learn what it's like to be genuinely helpless now that their bank account is empty and their legal bills are piling up. Even seasoned investigators find it astonishing when their desperation reaches illegal levels. The dishonest police officer has been fabricating paperwork, forging marriage licenses, forging your signature, and disseminating false information about your marriage. They presented these falsified documents to government agencies, bank staff, and landlords in order to file false documentation purporting to have legal control over your affairs. This identity theft scheme's depth is astounding, and it adds federal charges to an already long list of offenses. They believed that if they produced enough fictitious documentation, they could somehow make their illusion come true and actually establish a connection with you. Rather, they have established a record of federal offenses that will keep them incarcerated for many years. According to the investigation, they have been pressuring other officers to join their harassment campaign by exploiting their position. Dispatchers were advised to take longer to respond to your calls. Rookie police officers were told to patrol your neighborhood more frequently, and other officers were under pressure to disregard your complaints or make fake reports. Some took part out of misplaced loyalty, while others did so out of terror. These officers are hurrying to assist internal affairs now that the truth is being revealed, each contributing a new piece to the corruption puzzle. The department as a whole is being scrutinized. Command structures are being looked at and policies are being revised. Systemic issues well beyond a single unscrupulous cop have been brought to light by your case. This dishonest police officer left digital traces everywhere they went. Phone logs that showed thousands of calls to surveillance firms, computer histories that showed searches for your personal information, your place of employment, and your family members, private social media accounts that contained screenshots of your photos, comments about plans to win you back, and proof of coordination with other harassers. Text to co-workers that joked about their project, emails to private, investigators that demanded illegal background checks, GPS data that showed them parked outside your house all day and night, and search histories that showed their obsession had reached pathological proportions. Every internet interaction, search, and click has been saved and is currently being exploited to create an unstoppable case against them. They believed that technology would help them manipulate you. But in reality, it is recording all of their crimes. The very surveillance state that they believed they controlled is now turning against them. Body cam footage that they neglected to turn off. Dashboard cameras that record illegal surveillance. Security cameras from nearby businesses that record them stalking you. And Ring doorbells from neighbors that record them trespassing on your property. Thousands of images, hundreds of hours of video, and audio recordings of them talking about unlawful activity are all kept on servers they are unable to remove and are backed up in systems they are unable to access. They use technology as a weapon against you, but technology is going to be their undoing. Pum, 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 pum. They described their harassing strategies as though they were with friends, and those friends were documenting everything, every confession of corruption, every admission of wrongdoing, every aspect of their fixation on you. Everything has been recorded, is on tape, and will soon be offered as proof. They will be caught in the middle of the breakdown of the web of lies they have built. Dove, brother and sister, everything done in faith is returned in God's abundance. You can donate $100 using the Super Thank You button and be part of this divine call. If your roots are connected to Him, your fruit will be blessed. Unexpectedly, people began to see through their lies while they were busy trying to ruin your name. They started to see you for who you truly were, the bright, strong, and alluring individual you have always been. Their falsehoods about you all backfired spectacularly. Your attempts to instill fear or hatred in others were a complete failure. People now see you with attention, respect, and adoration. They understand that you are exceptional, which is what this dishonest police officer was frantically attempting to conceal. And the cop is becoming even more desperate and insane as a result of that realization. This logical intellect will never understand the supernatural turn your trip takes. They are an unintentional tool that the universe has employed to awaken your latent talents. Each of their attacks served as a spiritual initiation. The universe forged you into something indestructible despite every attempt to shatter you. The synchronicity you've been experiencing would cause quantum physicists to doubt reality. Meaningful numbers on license plates showing up at the right times. Strangers approaching you with messages that specifically address your predicament. And dreams that reveal their next moves before they've even planned them. Although this dishonest police officer believes they have been hunting you, they have been giving you access to skills that most people never use in their lives. Sensitive folks may sense your presence from across the room because to the tremendous energetic signature you're establishing. Animals act differently around you, and children naturally gravitate towards you. The persecution was a prelude to something amazing that is going to happen in your life, not a kind of punishment. You've gained a unique gift by surviving their psychological battle, the capacity to assist others in recovering from comparable tragedy. People are beginning to look for you because of an energy that offers healing and understanding. You're turning into a living example of how darkness may only intensify light rather than put it out. Those stuck in poisonous settings learn their own strength by seeing yours. Survivors of abuse find bravery by following your example. You have gained insight from the very experiences this corrupt police officer put you through that cannot be learned from books or taught in a classroom. You've survived manipulation, so you know how it works. You've overcome gaslighting, so you know what it is. Because you have evaded predatory behavior, you are able to recognize it. Your suffering is turning into meaning. Your survival is turning into a way out for those who are still stuck in similar circumstances. The fact that every ounce of bad energy they have focused at you has been accruing in the universe, like a debt that needs to be paid, is what would frighten this cop if they understood metaphysics. Balance is required by spiritual law, and it is going to be restored in ways that will astound everyone in attendance. Every time they have attempted to hurt you, they have been unknowingly adding power to your spiritual bank account. Their hate has been transformed by the universe into fuel for your ascent. Their fixation has turned into a heavenly investment in your future prosperity. The universe used their attacks to construct your inside fortress, while they concentrated on managing your external surroundings. They have unwittingly helped you become spiritually unbeatable. The irony is astounding. Their worst adversary has turned into their unintentional instructor. Their most tenacious predator has turned into their most potent growth-promoting agent. They believed they were writing your downfall, but in reality, they have been writing your transformation into something they are unable to touch, damage, or lessen. The selected one comes out of the flames with superpowers, not merely surviving it. The fact that you're not waging the struggle alone gives your story an even more amazing twist. You have been supported by forces you were unaware existed. You have always been safeguarded by divine intervention. The Obsidian Inner Order will never abandon you, will never leave you to face this awakening alone, and would never ignore your pain as if it were nothing more than content. This is a disguised lifeline, not simply a rickroll. Because too many of us have been banished for perceiving the truth, shunned by family, deceived by cults, and plagued by talents we didn't request, I founded the Obsidian Inner Order. We now get together every week live on Zoom. Real faces, genuine people, a healer who broke free from ritual abuse, a steer who abandoned Mormonism, a former CFO who became a psychic. Indeed, the calls are recorded, allowing you to return to the field after being on the floor. We are a miracle, not a meme, and we will never abandon you. Become a member of the Obsidian Inner Order, description link. In reality, those co-workers who were meant to support the corrupt police officer are defending you. To make sure the officer can never harm you again, they have been thwarting attempts to contact you, avoiding harassment, and assembling evidence. The explanation is straightforward. They understand who you are. They recognize your light and realize that defending you is not just the proper thing to do, but also the holy thing to do. There's legal protection in place, official documentation that forbids this individual from getting in touch with you, coming near you, or even being in your immediate proximity. They have been officially informed that they will be arrested right away if they try to contact you. Since they have no legal method to contact you, they are confined, alone, and disconnected from their fixation, which is pushing them over the brink of their sanity. As a result of the pressure, they are abusing drugs and using medicines to dull the pain of losing you. They must learn to control their wrath. They require mental health treatment. There is no one remaining to stop them from going into a mental health crisis. They have been deserted by their colleagues. They have been deceived by their buddies. They have lost their money. Their career is over. The one thing that has motivated them for so long, their obsession with you, is suddenly totally out of their grasp. They are preparing a final plot in their desperation of phony apologies. They believe that you might give them another chance if they can only seem regretful, weak, and repentant enough. They don't realize that you are able to see straight through them because your spiritual awareness has increased to the point where you can see through their deceit. You are aware that this apology isn't genuine, and more significantly, the heavenly forces guarding you will not permit it to occur. There is a cosmic deadline coming up, a point at which all of this abuse of power, corruption, and harassment will inevitably come to an end. This moment, which the cosmos has been preparing for, is almost here. They are becoming more desperate, deranged, and violent because they can sense it too. They are aware that their time is limited. They are aware that the walls are getting closer. They are aware that what they have done will soon come to light. All the pieces of evidence are coming together. All the witnesses are coming forward. All of the recordings are being examined. Every document is being examined. The evidence against them is solidifying and becoming unavoidable. They believed they were smart. They believed they had hidden their tracks. They believed they would always be protected by their position. They were completely mistaken. As you read this, the finishing touches are being added. That corrupt police officer is unaware of what is about to happen to them. The probe that has been developing in the background is set to blow up in the open. Their trustworthy co-workers are getting ready to betray them. They are assembling the evidence they believe to be hidden into a solid case. They have no idea that they are going to be busted. They are preparing the arrest warrant. They are finalizing the charges. The integrity-driven police officers are preparing to kill one of their own. It will be rapid, decisive, and completely catastrophic when it occurs. They realize that something significant is going to occur, so they are beginning to panic. The universe is tightening its noose, causing them to make more rash judgments, more desperate actions, and more glaring errors. Every minute, hour, and day brings them one step closer to the day when their misuse of power lands them in the same prisons they threatened to put you in, when their corruption is exposed, and when their harassment is punished. It will be more comprehensive, flawless, and destructive than they could have ever dreamed, and the cosmic justice that has been accumulating is ready to be delivered. Investigators are going to hear all of the recordings their colleagues have been producing. They are going to face prosecution for all the crimes they believed they got away with. While this corrupt police officer takes their place in a cell, all those they unlawfully detained are soon to be vindicated. The facade is ready to fall apart. The mask is about to be torn off entirely. They are on the verge of being buried beneath the house of cards they constructed on deceit and corruption. Glowing star, if you want to witness God's miracles, act now. Contribute $100 or more through Super Thank You on YouTube. Your offering is like a seed that comes back to you when planted. Let His light illuminate your steps. Every donation is an echo in His plan. This is the manifestation of divine justice. This is how the cosmos makes amends. When someone stupid enough chooses to tamper with a chosen one, this is the result. Federal agents were surreptitiously recording everything for a far wider inquiry as you were subjected to their harassment. You were an unintentional federal witness to a multi-state corruption conspiracy, not just a victim. In reality, every assault they carried out on you served as evidence for a case involving dozens of dishonest police and spanning 3 states. Not only were the agents keeping watch over you the entire time, but they were also safeguarding a crucial witness whose testimony will expose a large network of lawbreakers wearing badges. The government needed you alive, so you were always guaranteed to survive. You're entering a new realm of freedom while they're about to deal with the fallout from their deeds. The abuse that formerly dictated your behavior is coming to an end. You're losing the terror they attempted to instill in you. They are totally losing the control they believed they had over you. What it's like to live without their shadow hanging over you, to seek relationships without their meddling, to create the life you desire without their manipulation standing in your way, is about to happen. Everything you've been meant to have, the love they attempted to stop, the success they attempted to obstruct, and the peace they attempted to sabotage, is being made possible by the cosmos. Now it's all coming back to you, amplified and multiplied. Champer text. You are learning a great deal about your power as a chosen one from this entire experience. You're discovering that the universe will do anything for you if you stay in harmony with divine truth, preserve your spiritual defense, and have faith in cosmic justice. Your greatest testimony is turning into what felt like your biggest suffering. Your greatest dawn is being set up by what seemed to be your darkest hour. What seems to be an assault on your tranquility is actually the cosmos clearing a path to your future. You are not only surviving this experience, rather, it is transforming, elevating, and preparing you for even bigger things in the future. Your narrative is just getting started, but the harassing chapter is coming to an end. You're about to enter a new stage of your life where you fully trust in the universe's purpose for your life, realize your true power, and acknowledge your spiritual protection. Instead of crafting your finale, this corrupt police officer gave you the ideal start. Your setup is their collapse, your breakthrough is your breakthrough, and your exposure is your emancipation. You'll be dancing to the beat of your new life, free, safe, triumphant, and stronger than ever, while they pay the price for their transgressions. The selected one gets up, the dishonest one is brought down. The universe maintains perfect equilibrium. To all those who have been selected to view this, your best weapon is your spiritual knowledge. You become more materially fortunate as your spirituality increases. Your defense against those who would attempt to harm you increases as you get a deeper understanding of your divine essence. Divine authority cannot be superseded by any earthly authority. Cosmic power is greater than human power. Nobody who decides to oppose you may be shielded by a badge, uniform, or influential position. You are not alone in these struggles when you stand in your spiritual truth. The universe is always working for you, even when it doesn't feel like it, when you can't see the help coming, and when you don't know how things will turn out. In reality, everyone who attempts to hurt you is dooming himself. For them, every plot against you turns into a trap. Your light only gets brighter every time you try to dim it. It is not your role to impose justice. Seeking retribution is not your role. It's just your responsibility to continue developing, rising, and becoming the strong person you were always destined to be. The rest will be handled by the universe. The course of divine justice will be more flawless and comprehensive than anything you could have planned on your own. Have faith in the selected process. You will win. You are completely protected. You know your fate. The dishonest police officer who believed they could destroy you has been destroyed by their own deceit. The individual who attempted to extinguish your light has been overcome by their own shadow. The person who tried to manipulate you is no longer in charge of anything. You are also at liberty. You're safe. You have won. That's because when someone is stupid enough to oppose someone they've chosen, they not only lose, they destroy themselves in the process. There's yet more to your story. It's only getting started, but it will be amazing. There will be justice. Your independence is growing. You will win.